This is not a test. We are the Glass Cannon Network. Now begins our manifesto.
Oh my god.
You guys look terrifying. Terrifying. Where's Joe? We lost him. He's cleaning up the pee underneath his seat. Where the hell did he go? Look at these masks. I can't pick a favorite, but if I had to, gun to my head.
Oh, no,
oddly enough, I think I'd pick Baron. The Baron mask is awesome. And it's the only one that I think you can wear in public and not get too many stares. It's like, look at that crazy red-bearded guy with a cigarillo.
I wore mine to the post office today, and I didn't get any friendly looks.
No?
I'll tell you that much. No friendly looks. No, I had to jump off camera because mine was upside down, I realized, as soon as we went live. And I couldn't reveal my identity by taking it off on camera. So
Let me tell you, though, the benefit, which is not backed up by any health professionals whatsoever, is that these enhance social distancing because no one wants to be near you while you're wearing it.
Exactly. It pays for itself.
Yeah.
Can we go back, though, to Joe having one thing to do and he put the mask on upside down? Like the natural
it was very
one.
stressful.
You had a 50% chance of getting that right. It's not like you had it going diagonally over here. Is this how you do it? Or backwards? 50% chance you went up.
For the folks at home, the face mask bit came up about 90 seconds before we went live. And I had to streak down to the lower edge of the house and grab it and run back.
Why did you take the time to take your clothes off?
Yeah,
I
that's
know. I thought, as soon as I said it, I was like, damn it, Matthew's going to get me on that.
When I don't know the verb, I just skip it. I'm like, is that the right verb? I'll just use a gesture instead. No, these look great, and they're flying off the shelves. I should look at the report, the inventory report, see what the big seller is. But
I can tell you what the big seller is.
oh, you looked at the
It's
dailies?
obvious. It's Lork Iron Tusk.
Oh, yeah.
Big talk for the guy who wore it upside down.
How did you even put it on upside down? Can we see what it looks like upside down again?
Yeah, go run the tape back. You'll see it just fine. I put it on and I looked at it for a second because you know how like when you do Skype or Zoom or whatever, you like it flips yours, like it's a mirror image. And I looked funny to me for a second. I was like, did it not go mirror image or something? And I was like, no, the tusks are straight up pointing down like fangs.
It looks like you're wearing like a pair of whitey tighties when it's upside down. Like it's got a weird shape.
Yours doesn't look right. And well, there they are. Now available in our brand new merch store. And speaking of merch, we're giving away some merch tonight. That hat that Joe's wearing, we're giving away one of those. We're giving away the new Nestor Coin T-shirt, which I don't have in front of me, but
It's very
badass.
cool. It's very cool.
And then we're giving away one of the Lork's Gonna Lork shirts, which is
yeah,
perfect.
buddy.
Because I like it because the design is kind of shitty, and so it's ironic that it's for Lork. It's just kind of like you wear it and you're like, everything about it is kind of lame, and that's why I like it. And it's actually the top seller right now for T-shirts at that price point. So Lork's Gonna Lurk shirt, Nestor shirt, and a hat. We're giving 3 away tonight. All you got to do is go to our Instagram at the Glass Cannon, follow it, comment on the status where you see Skid, Joe, and Matthew wearing the merch, and then tag 2 of your buddies. Why? Because that's how you grow on Instagram. I don't know why.
And this is only available to people on the stream, or can people who listen on the pod feed do it?
Oh, it'll be too late. We're giving it away tonight. So
Another reason to tune in. Another reason to tune in.
Another reason to tune in. We had it up since noon. By the end of the night, we'll give those away. To
Tune in.
Lucky peeps.
Or at the very least, check the Instagram. Check the Instagram on Thursdays. You never know.
Never know. Maybe you won.
Giveaway.
I'm going to check the Instagram right now. No, I don't have time. We got to do a show. Do you guys know where I went today? Pretend like you don't know.
I don't know where you went today.
The proctologist.
No, I went to the office.
Oh.
I went to the our old stomping.
Get out of Dodge. How's it doing?
It's all right. It's all right.
How's the toilet? That's my main concern.
It's not great. It's not great. I don't know what happened, but I kind of blacked out and peed in it, and I regret it. Something is horribly wrong with the toilet, but I was bursting. I had to. It was either that or the kitchen sink, and
or the public restroom that is. 15 feet from the door of the office.
When you have pea brain, it's just like, it's got to come out.
We've already established that you make a lot of decisions when you have pea brain that maybe aren't the wisest.
Get out of here, you pea brain. No, but we really should call the landlord. There is a problem with the toilet. It's very, 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 very gross and awful. But the office looked great. It just...
No lights fell?
No lights fell. All the windows are still intact, and we had a lot of packages. And I separated them all into like merch returns and Joe's pile and Paizo stuff, and then I left.
Thank you for not peeing on those piles.
I thought about it. There was a couple of them. I was like, no, I'll just use the dirty toilet. But it was weird being back because I'm in there. Basically, I was in New York today. I was in the city. I had some business I had to attend to, and so then I went to Astoria because I had some time to kill while I was waiting for something. What I was waiting for was for my cat to finish her grooming at the spa, his grooming at the spa. So I had to. That was in Manhattan. So then I went to Astoria because I had 3 hours. He spends 3 hours there. He gets the blueberry facial, of course, and his nails trimmed, perfectly manicured. Then he gets a shampoo. And they put on a conditioner after that, and then there is a full hour and a half grooming session / massage. So once
was there a point at which you thought we needed to know why you were in the city? Because nobody cares why you had to go to the city.
I believe in total disclosure, and I think there's some people out there that would appreciate the pampering I give Mr. Linus. Anyways, I had some time to kill.
There's many more who wouldn't. Me included.
I'm gonna buy a cat and name it Total Disclosure. It'll be great. It's a great name for a cat.
TD. And then, so then I went to Astoria and I went to my mechanic because I wanted to get an oil change and a sticker. I figured I had the time. And then I said, you know what? I'll walk to the office, go check out the old stomping grounds. And it is very strange being in New York City. Like 70% of people are wearing masks. A solid 30% aren't. And they're just there. They're just out there. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how is everybody sick or is nobody sick? How does this work? It's very what's the word I'm looking for? Discomforting. I'm just like, wow, okay, so we're not going back to the office anytime soon. This the world is going to end before that happens. And then I get to the office and there's nobody there. I see the landlord and the signs everywhere is like, wear a face mask. He comes out, no face mask. He's like, oh, hey. Goes out. I'm like, oh. It was like hanging around his ear. Everybody's got the face masks with their nose hanging out, and I'm in the office. I finally get in there, rip it off, and I'm like.
So you do the hold your breath past the graveyard. I do that too. If I see someone not wearing a mask, I take in a deep breath when I'm about 15 feet away. Then I walk faster, which is actually using more oxygen at the time. Then I get past, let it out, take a deep breath, then again, which is insane. I don't think it works.
I'm in the office. I'm handling a package. I pull the stuff out. I wash my hands. I open up another package. I pull the stuff out. I wash my hands, and I'm like, I can't live like this. There is no way we can go back to life anytime soon. Yeah. Anytime, like our normal work life. I don't understand how it's going to be humanly possible. So it was a real cathartic moment, I guess, or a moment of existential dread where I was like, oh, I thought we'd be back sooner, and now I don't know. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Your second time back to the office since all this has happened? I know Joe's been.
Second, maybe third. I think second. Yeah.
And it's different this time? It felt different?
I felt a little more comfortable in there. The first time I was there for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I got to get out of here. And this time I was kind of tidying it up, and I was walking around looking at stuff, looked in the closet. It's like the last episode of Cheers. It was Sam Malone just looking at the bar. Like, we're closed.
I when I was there, I walked upstairs, and then I walked over to my seat at my station and then I was looking down at my dice, and then I was like, all right. And then I was
like, what are you doing there by yourself? There's nothing no imminent work to be done. You're just kind of like, huh.
Was it uncomfortably, this is what concerns me, was it disgustingly, weirdly hot or anything like that? Because I'm worried about the electronic equipment getting too much heat in there.
I don't have much tolerance for heat, and I didn't turn the AC on the entire time I was there. I was just like...
Were some windows cracked?
One window was cracked. Yeah, so
Okay.
there was enough air.
It was pretty hot when I was there. We should talk about this in a separate meeting.
No, I think people like to know about this stuff, and they want to know that SideQuest Side Sesh will be playing for the next 3 years because that's when we'll be back to work.
I will say that electronic equipment is designed to take an electrical charge that runs through it. It's not a baby or a pet that you are not supposed to leave in the back of your car. It should be fine, is all I'm saying.
I was waiting for Grant to come in with the talk down to Matthew speech. Mm-hmm. And there it is.
It is in direct sunlight in a just a
The direct
sealed
sunlight
box
is bad. Yeah.
and will be for the entire summer.
And it's
We have,
So-
we have the UV coating on the windows too, so it's not quite as bad as if it's
UV
Oh yeah, those windows are brand new.
yeah.
we should just get like giant silver reflectors like people have in their Honda Civics, just in our
should.
doors, in our windows.
Are you only allowed to use a silver reflector in a Honda Civic?
I see them most
Have you-
in Honda Civics, like a 1995 Honda Civic, and it has a club. They absolutely have a club behind there.
Like a pair of sunglasses or like a beach scene. Yeah, that'd be fun.
I think my mom had one for her Buick, and it was Garfield at the beach.
Oh, that's cute.
That
like
was
that
in
one.
1992, though. So
I'm totally content with just talking like this for the next hour and 50 minutes because I realized last night we had a little hangout with some friends and our top subscribers on our Patreon, and I said jokingly, not jokingly, it was the truth. I was like, this is only the third time I've hung out on a social Zoom since this started, and everybody looked at me like I had three heads. Like I didn't realize that people were doing this constantly. Like I hung out once for our friend's birthday, once for the PaizoCon Scotch party, and last night, and that's the only time I've talked to anyone on Zoom. I didn't realize, like, Joe's like, I got 9 party games a week on Zoom. Like, I'm turning them down.
Yeah.
So
I
what I'm
cancel
saying
more
is,
in a week than you've done in 3 months.
this time here, this is my only time to be social, really, or the only time I have to be social is to hang out with you guys and the Naish, obviously. So I just want to milk it for as much as possible because this is all I get. Otherwise, it's talking to a cat, a baby, or my wife. I love them all. But
Well,
that's
I'm
all I have.
excited, but I'm nervous. I'm excited and nervous to jump into this because this is going to be rough.
It's a little.
hang on. I was waiting for the payoff here, and we never got it. How does Linus look?
Oh, he looks like $1 million. I would invite him in here, but he would walk all over the fucking keyboard. I might have a photo though.
Does he enjoy being pampered in that way, or does he
Troy,
kind of above
email
it?
it to me. I'll throw them up on the screen beautifully.
Okay, I'll do that.
Do it. And then just everyone else vamp while Troy's figuring out his
He looks like
brand new
$1 million. But it's an iPhone. They all work the same. Yeah, no, I think he likes it. He always listen. I know he's a cat, but we have a special bond. And when I pick him up and I put him in the car, and I'm like, Linus, you look like $1 million. He gives me this look where he's just like, thank you. Thank you for taking me. I was so uncomfortable with all that hair. And I know you had a lot going on. I know there's a worldwide pandemic. I can feel the tension in the house. But thank you. Thank you for taking me. I know that you didn't have to do that. I know that you could just take me to a groomer in Westchester like your
this is good.
wife said. But I know that you appreciate what I bring to the house and to the family, and that you'll drive an hour and a half to bring me to the only Persian cat groomer in all of 5 boroughs that has 5 stars on Yelp. So thank you. That's the look that he gives me.
See, this is what happens when you're isolated with just your baby, your wife, and a cat for several months.
I like that Linus
imagining
refers
this
to
in your
Sam as your wife and not as Sam, because
Yeah.
the bond is with you and not with her.
Right, yeah. Even though it was like Linus was her her wedding gift from me was Linus, but we really hit it off. So,
We are about to have Linus on the screen. It is several megapixels larger than the screen. Here he comes.
let's see. This
Bam.
is probably going to look good.
Boom.
He is just. I want to see him on.
He looks so angry.
Looks so pleased.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at that! Look at that guy.
Yeah,
He
that
looks-
look really says thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I see.
You can see it too, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, never looks
man.
more grateful than anything in that picture.
Yeah.
For sure.
That is honestly, he's never looked happier than he does in that.
Believe that as well.
Look at that! What a
He looks
handsome
like
guy.
he looks like Winston Churchill.
I
What are you saying to me?
to the Baltic and Trieste.
Adam, I may be drunk, but you are ugly, and I shall be sober in the morning.
There he is. That's Linus. And anyway,
That was worth it.
that was totally worth
Well
it.
worth it.
Spoiler alert: he's the boss of this module.
Okay.
Speaking of this,
Is the final battle just us trying to learn how to groom him?
right, that's all you have to do. You have to pass 25 separate skill checks, and
To get a 5-star
they're all
review on Yelp.
profession skill checks. Sleight of hand to make it look like I gave him the blueberry facial. Wait a minute, let me smell him. That's not blueberry. Speaking of the module, we had a bit of a humdinger last week that ended in a ding hummer, if you know what I'm saying. A lot of stuff went down, and I want to see what you remember of it. What did you guys do last week before you ended up in that gruesome scene in the center of town?
We went to the manor house.
Went
we paid
to
our
the manor house.
we paid our respects to Major Domo Laurent Chiu
Laurent
and the Baroness. We spoke to the Baroness,
Yes, Anya Boroy.
who had lots of scars on her arms, and
Lots of
that was apparently
scars.
totally normal.
Missing a couple fingies.
Oh yeah, the fingies.
That's just Zonkuthon worship, but you find out she's fine. She's totally fine. They can't send mail out of Carpad. That's why her dad's not getting her correspondence. There's a plague going around. Oh yeah, and a bunch of people are disappearing, but we can't send mail. And you're like, what was that second part? So you start questioning her, and then you also bring up the fact that she had sent messages saying that like her husband wasn't quite the man she married, and she kind of explained, maybe holding back a little bit, that ever since they had their son, she doesn't know if it was coincided with that or this disease that has sprouted up in town or the disappearances, but her husband's been a little off, a little disturbed because he's the Baron. This is his barony. It's a lot of pressure for someone, and he's a new dad on top of that, so he hasn't been taking it well. You start asking about this disease. They call it tellothroat, where people get pale and wan and get these goiters on their neck. And it started spreading pretty quickly. And their solution, the Baron's solution, was to get rid of all the fetchlings, all of the Kayal that worked at Bororoy Manor, because they believed that they were the carriers of this. And so they fired all of them, sent them all out, except one, the Houndmaster, who you then later meet.
Gavril.
You also find out that people have kind of been disappearing here and there. You don't know if they don't know if it's related or not, but it's just like another thing on top of this disease. So then you go and you speak to the Baron. He is not interested in talking to you. He already knows that you are now guests in Bororoy Manor, but he really doesn't have any time for you. And he's kind of all over the place. He says that this is like an intelligent disease that is spreading throughout town, that it knows things, and it's all the fetchlings' fault. They're the ones that brought this, and so they've got to go because they're out to get me. And he's a little paranoid, obviously. As you're leaving, Alfonso is trying to look at the books that he's reading. Can't quite get a solid glimpse, but does notice that he casts no shadow, something that is quite abnormal for a person.
And
Point of
he promised me his desk and his will. I just want to make sure that everyone remembers that. I get his desk if he dies. Karazor.
It's canon. You go downstairs, you meet the Houndmaster, Gavril, and he's kind of indifferent to you at first, but with some savvy diplomacy, you find out that he was kept on because he's the only one that can control the Baron's favorite mastiff, Iosif, oddly enough, also the name of one of his deceased brothers. And then, once you really sweet talk this guy, he tells you, like, here's the deal. I'd love to go back out to Shade Row and be with my kin, but I'm probably safer in here because I was having an affair with the baker, and she disappeared, and everyone probably thinks I was the last one to see her. So if everybody knows about the affair, that's one problem. Two, they think that I was the last one to see her. But here's the catch. I wasn't the last one. The chandler came in right after I hopped out the window because I didn't want us to be caught in an amorous position. So he's like, maybe find out what's going on there if you can. You guys seem cool. Thanks. So then you're like, all right, let's go check out Shade Row. Let's go find out what's going on with these fetchlings. Let's go find out what's going on with their little community. Kayal. And so you start walking out there. This is how Braven walks. You're walking out there. And then you get to the bridge, and you're about to go to Shade Row, and you notice a couple people running down the street. You're like, what the fuck's going on over there? You follow them all the way to the town square, where you see a huge tree, splinters all along the ground forming kindling, 3 stakes sticking up with 3 Kayal tied to each one of the stakes, and a man, looks like he has the crest of the Boroi family on his chest, waving a torch like he's going to burn them at the stake, light the kindling on fire. And he says something to the effect of, this is his key. Says, these vile shadows stole my only daughter right from our home. My sweet, sweet Olya. We must have justice for what they have done to this town. They're bringing a plague to Karpad. A plague that they can use as a precursor to a revolution against us. We will burn them. We will burn them all for what they have done. And the angry mob, just as you guys roll up. Let's go to roll 20.
Yay.
Wow, straight to the Twanzoni.
Go get her, Ray.
Oh, man. Okay.
Wow, look at that mob.
I really dug in to find the most diverse group of roll 20 free pawns I could find. I really wanted to.
There's a lot of tavern servers here.
Is that I was saying, what is this person? What meat does this person have?
Yeah, well,
I see a baker and a grocer.
That person?
That must be the baker's husband.
Yeah, they're
Don't
actually
tell him that his wife was cheating on him.
there are a lot of triplets in this town. That's a strange thing. Oh, quadruplets actually.
The
They all
mystery
seem to be
deepens.
carrying the same plate of meat.
Yep. Well, and they're all looking southward. They're not even paying attention to the.
I know.
They got to focus on their meat.
Well, yeah, this guy must have the choicest cut. So they're all kind of following him.
Choice nugs.
Even this guy, even this butcher is like, I'd rather have his flank steak than my flank steak. And it's like, oh, looking over there.
Do you appreciate that I at least took the time to kind of space them all out all over the place? So there's,
Yeah, it was nice.
there's a butcher up here, and then you don't see another one till over here.
No, it looks very natural.
I even took the time today. I was like, maybe I can pump this up a little bit. And this is what I did. All right, you see this guy here?
Yeah.
He's just, I don't know, like a tavern guy. I just changed his tint.
Oh,
nice.
clever.
This is what he really looks like.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
Tricks of the trade.
I think you're now officially a power user of Roll20.
Well, I don't want to brag, but that's the kind of work I do when it comes to crowds.
See, everyone emailing us, sending us messages to use use the Foundry instead, and it's just like, but then we'd be giving up all this kind of expertise that you
Right.
have just shown us.
I don't want to take the time to relearn that
No.
on another
Too
tabletop. Another
Are there
virtual tabletop.
4 blacksmiths in this town?
They need a lot of weapons.
5.
The neighboring,
5.
you never know when other countries will attack. Let's talk about what's going on at the dais. Here's the dude with the torch, okay? And then here is Kayal number 1, 2, and 3, all tied to stakes. No doubt chopped from this giant tree here to the south. Brought up onto the dais, and they're going to burn this shit down. the crowd is just kind of mumbling and grumbling, and a couple of them turn to see you, and just kind of look at you, open mouthed as you're walking up. What do you guys do?
The adjunct instructor suddenly disappears. I mean, doesn't disappear. She walks away.
I was just going to say, Alfonso does the same thing. He's like, Braven, Cursor, buy us some time. And then he dips back behind this tent to watch and make sure exactly what's going on with adjunct instructor. No, I'm just
she goes around the side.
For the medieval equivalent of a phone booth.
Just keeps chasing.
I gotta go make a call.
I got a thing. This seems very serious, but when my students send me a letter, I gotta answer this letter. It's very urgent
see
matter.
if my hunch is right.
Right now?
No, but like as soon as he sees and senses this danger and this awful shit going on in this crowd in front of him, that's what he says to Karazor and Braven. It's like, buy me some time. And then he slips back, just out of the sight of the crowd, basically.
Please let me know when 60 seconds has passed.
Exactly. I need 60 seconds precisely.
The villagers just watching you guys, two of you pale off, and they're just looking at Braven and Karazor, looking back at the guy talking, looking back at you.
Karazor says, let me through, and he like kind of shoulders his way through the crowd and gets up onto the dais here.
Before you get to the dais, he's like, stop! What do you have to say? Outsider, you are not from here. I am the captain of the guard. Stand down and let us burn them for what they have done.
And he turns and he says, outsider. Yes, exactly. Look at me, all of you. What do you see? He spreads his arms wide and says, a monster, yes?
A monster! Yeah!
A monster. A gnoll. A horrible gnoll.
Burn him too!
Yes, burn me too, exactly. But I am here to tell you that you cannot simply go about casting aspersions this way. When you see, look, if you look closer at my face, I have tiny glasses. This may be a small hint as to the true character that lies beneath this beastly exterior. And I look back at these poor souls that you have tied to these stakes, and I see that perhaps they, despite their clearly evil appearance, may not be carriers of disease. They may not be factors. They may not have even stolen your child, sir.
No, they have. They have murdered my child and used what's left of her as components for their evil magics.
Oh, well, you have proof then?
No, but I have heard things. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows it to be true. They are not only killing us and using them for their witchcraft, but they are taking our people, our very people, and selling them as thralls or perhaps as meat for the night hags that roam the Uskwood.
Oh, it sounds pretty bad. But lo! Who has just appeared on the scene?
They all turn around, and there stands the Crystal Ghost.
As that's happening, as they're all distracted with that, Braven would like to roll a stealth check to get as close to the wood that's underneath them as possible.
Close to the wood
Yes.
as possible. Okay,
Yes.
they all part.
Wow, it's kind of
See the Crystal Ghost.
kind of a Moses situation. So yes.
And Alfonso will come walking up as well.
Excuse me,
so-
I snuck around the back.
I can't find your other pawn.
Okay.
I'll get you one. Braven, I need you to roll your stealth check against this man holding the torch.
Okay.
Better be good.
It is a 18. Not
Pretty
great.
good. All right, so it seems as if at least the guy holding the torch hasn't seen you, but a couple of the townsfolk have. And goes, what is he doing? Yes, who is this man? Why is he walking towards the stage? Stand back! They must
Raven's
be
going to
punished
start
for their
saying.
crimes!
Raven's going to start saying, "Burn them! Burn them!" to get on their side, just so he can keep his position.
All right, roll a bluff.
Okay.
I'm Umlo.
It is a 15.
15. Some of them are like, burn them! And then a couple of them are like, what? But he is with the knoll, with the glasses. Something is not right.
I'm not wearing any glasses, chum.
Wait, what does that have to do with anything?
I'm not with him. I'm ready to burn, baby, burn.
Okay,
Disco Inferno.
Oh, I suppose you think all horrible monsters know each other. Now who's the racist?
I think they would think he was the racist the whole time, right?
Oh, all right. Yes.
We're pretty confident in who is racist.
My quarrel is not with you, says the guy holding the torch. It is with them and their kind. They are destroying this town from the inside out. They've taken my daughter. What?
You are quite wrong, sir. Your quarrel is with the Crystal Ghost now as well.
Oh, snap.
Who is that?
I stand for justice. And you, sir, stand for tyranny. Release them at once. And she draws her longsword. And holds it down to her side.
All right, so you can roll an intimidate check in place of a diplomacy check, and it'll work just like a diplomacy check to try and move him from hostile down the scale. And I would say that, Braven, you're kind of pretending to be on their side, so I'm not going to let you aid them. Alfonso is still off doing God knows what.
No, Alfonso, I guess, passed his stealth check against the GM because he's already right behind Karazor, and you never saw him!
That's not how this works.
I walked every square, and you never saw it. That's on you.
That's like when you guys surrounded the butler last week. Like, just so you know, while you're reading that flavor text, we surrounded the butler.
Braven is readying an action as this intimidation is going on, and it will happen regardless of the result of the intimidation. Do you want me? I'll tell you afterwards, based on the result.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have Matthew roll an intimidation, and Karazor can attempt to aid. So Karazor attempt to aid first. DC 10.
Yes, I aid.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you, the Crystal Ghost, when she is the Crystal Ghost, her intimidate is even better than her diplomacy.
Oh, but of course.
Natty 16. 26 with the aid 28.
Oh my God.
He, what was the last thing you said to him? He was like, now you got to deal with the Crystal Ghost.
And I said, release
Stand
them at
for
once,
justice.
and then drew my crystal glass longsword.
He's like holding the torch, quivering, inching ever closer to the kindling. And you know if he just hit one of them, it would just all go up in flames. And he's like, but they took my daughter. They took her and now she is gone. She is gone. And he just crumbles onto the stage and drops the torch from his hand, and it falls to the ground off of the dais.
Braven, as soon as that torch falls, as it's falling, because he's worried about it, will soak the water with, create water with his hydrokinesis, or soak the logs that they're underneath so that they wouldn't be able to catch on fire, just as a precaution.
And he's just standing there, like crestfallen, or he's kneeling there, crestfallen, just weeping. And the crowd just, some of them kind of trail off. Others are watching to see what happens here. The flame on the torch just slowly flickers out eventually, and there are no active flames. And people, the Kayals, are like, get us out of here!
Yeah, the Crystal Ghost will, with her longsword, go run behind the dais and just like kind of cut all their ties so they're free.
Karazor comes up, like he kneels down, gets down on his haunches next to the man. And he says, "Sir, you are now in the presence of the world's greatest detective, the Crystal Ghost herself. If your daughter is not dead, if she is anywhere on the face of Galarian, she can find her."
He doesn't even look at you at first, and he's like, just replaying it in his head. He's like, 1 minute. My daughter? She was playing outside right before dusk. My wife, Olya, called her in for dinner, but she did not come. So she went out to check on her, and All I hear is screaming. I am working next door at the town watch. I am the captain of the guard. But I could still hear the screaming. I run towards the noise, not knowing that it is my own wife. Olya says she's gone. She's gone, and we have not seen her since. If it is not them, then who? You say you have the greatest detective. Help me find my daughter. And he just head and hands weeping.
How old is your daughter?
She's 28.
Playing in the yard.
She was playing in the yard?
He has a hopscotch.
Hopscotch.
She is 11.
Oh.
We should like to investigate the scene of the crime. In fact, we have been charged by the Baroness and the Baron with investigating these disappearances. And then the Crystal Ghost points her long sword, pointing right at his face, and says, "But if I ever discover you trying to enact vigilante justice again, I shall not be so kind. Do I make myself clear? Ask Crystal, you might say."
He's still on his knees, but he kind of pulls himself together and looks up at you, wipes the tears away from his face, and he's like, "Hey, I did not know you were working for the Baron and the Baroness. Yes, you are right. We should not have vigilante justice. That is not what Carpad stands for. I am the captain of the guard, but I tell you this, they have something to do with this. The shadows.
No. You have no proof of this, sir. Now, please apologize to our friends here." And the Crystal Ghost looks to the Kyle.
I've let them go. Is that not enough?
That is insufficient.
He looks at the man, maybe the father of this group. You haven't talked to them yet. I'm sorry. But if
What's
you
that?
are
Couldn't quite
guilty-
make that out.
I said I'm sorry.
There we are.
But if you are guilty, if you have done anything to my daughter, you will get much worse than this. He turns. It's like, I live a house adjacent to the town watch. If you want to help, if you want to do actual good, you come and I show you where she was taken. Meanwhile, if you're talking to the Kayals that were freed, it is a family. It's like a mother, a father, and a son, but the son's like in his 20s. Who's over there talking to them?
Well, Alfonso is not talking to them yet. He's just nearby examining them from afar. Can I do a perception on them? I want to see if they cast shadows, first of all.
Sure.
Among other things. Okay. So, quick perception. That is an 18.
Okay. In terms of shadows, they all seem to cast shadows. I mean, there were a lot of torches lit now, and you can see the angles of the shadows coming in, casting it right off of the dais.
Okay. Then he'll leap up there. Yeah. Ha!
Monster!
Pardon me. I did not mean to startle you. I just wanted to waste no time getting you out of these bonds. And he's going to cut their bonds.
The guy says, "Oh, thank you. I cannot thank you enough, you and your friends." He's like rubbing his wrists where the rope was tied behind him. I do not know what they would have done to us had you not arrived. We were just in town shopping at the general store, picking up some farming supplies, and apparently that was enough to make us a convenient target. This is not some man, just any man. This is the captain of the guard. If he is willing to take us, we are not safe anymore.
Can I do a sense motive on their reasons for being in town and just make sure that he's not lying to me?
Yeah.
That they're, were randomly chosen or whatever.
Maybe they did steal this kid.
Yeah, I mean, just sense and motive. 31.
31. They seem totally sincere.
Okay.
You see the wife and the son kind of slowly approach behind.
Well, in that case, I'm glad we arrived when we did. You interrupted this insane ritual. or I guess I should say a summary judgment.
Yes,
Please step down here. I'd like you to speak to the Crystal Ghost as well as my friends Karizor and Braven. We are tasked by the Baron and Baroness with investigating these disappearances, and your input, even as you say, you are not involved in this. Talking to everyone will help us. So could you please give us a few moments of your time? I know you've been through a lot, but the sooner we can talk to you, the sooner we can get results.
But of course, it is the least we can do. I will say, if you are working for the Baron and the Baroness, if you don't mind me saying, I hope you do not share their views. They do not look favorably upon my family or my friends back in Shade Row. We are all ostracized, and after an incident like this, I will go back and I will tell them that it is not safe for us. We do not fight back for fear of our lives, for fear of looking as if we did something wrong. And look what happened. I will tell them to stay. But if you share their beliefs, I just beg of you, please do not make it any worse for us than it already is.
No, you misunderstand me. While it is true that we have been tasked by the Baron and Baroness with such a duty, we are outsiders to this nation. We know nothing of your culture or your people, which to me is a good thing. We can start from scratch and learn what happens here and who you are. We can learn to investigate in a more objective way, I believe. The Baron and Baroness, I can tell you, while their opinions may be quite clear, they have given us no instructions of any kind as to how our investigation is to be conducted, what we are to look into and what we are not to look into. It has been, thus far, an honest-seeming operation. So I believe that you should trust that you are in good hands, at least with us. And we are happy to speak to you about whatever it is and whatever problems you have. We'd like to hear them all.
And if you are at all concerned about our allegiance to the Baron and Baroness, you can rest assured, I've been promised the Baron's desk upon his demise, so I have every reason to want to hasten it.
Well, we do not want any violence. We will not answer violence with violence.
No, of course not. I'll make it look like an accident. You don't have to worry.
No, we don't want anyone to be hurt. This is not our way. We just... No, please stop the winking. It is
perhaps
making me very uncomfortable.
No.
Perhaps I was not clear. Perhaps I was not clear the first time. You can trust us completely. With your strong desire to assassinate the Baron. We would never tell anyone.
I would not. All right, here's the plan. And we go in through the back door. The Baron's schedule is thus.
The child steps up with it, is like, I've been working on this my whole life. Welcome to the cause.
Yeah, they're like, God damn you, we had them right where we wanted them.
We call ourselves the Fist. Welcome to the Fist.
Oh, God. As you're talking to them, they say, you're welcome to join them. They don't know what your accommodations are. They're like, well, you can come. We have very modest accommodations, but you could come to Shedro any time. I do not know if you're staying at an inn here or whatnot, but our humble lodging is welcome to you. Food or a meal or something. We can do anything to repay you for saving our lives. You say you have talked to the Baron. You have been to the manor?
We have.
You have access to the manor, yes?
Yes. Day or night.
I hate to ask you.
We could be your inside man.
No, again, I do not want these such things, but I hate to ask you for a favor after you have done so much for me, but if you do have some sort of access, perhaps you could check on our cousin, Gabriel. He is the only you have spoken to him. He is the only Kayal left in the Baron's employ, and we all worry for him. He is well? He is being treated well?
You see, he has a use...
I don't like your face right now, sir. I do not know what that means.
He has a use to the Baron. He takes care of his beloved Mastiff. He's the only one in the whole town that can do it. He gives the Mastiff a blueberry facial by day. And trims his mane by night and massages him in the afternoon.
Oh, it has been years since I have had a blueberry facial. That sounds, it's good to know that he is well.
As long as he
should-
serves a purpose to the Baron, he will be safe and sound.
He is good, yes, oh, good. Excellent. You see this, like, overwhelming sense of calm. So many of us worry for Gabriel. He is family to me, but not only to me, to others as well. He is a good man. Oh, this makes me very happy.
Now tell me these disappearances that the town is raving mad about. Have you experienced any yourself among your people? Anyone close to you? Have anyone you know well disappeared?
No. We have heard of disappearances, but none of us were taken, which is probably why they think that we had something to do with it. Again, we are a convenient scapegoat. If one, Kayal, was taken, then perhaps they would not look to us, but as far as we know, none have been taken. The only one not with us is Gabriel.
Can I ask, forgive me, I am a student of history, but I do not know much about your region. How did your people come to settle here? How long have you been part of this barony?
The Kayal have always been a part of Karpat. It stretches back many generations since the founding of the town. There has always been a subset of Kayal that have lived here. But as time has gone on, the amity between the humans and the Kayal has changed. It is no longer, shall we say, a consistently amicable relationship. We are sometimes frowned upon, put into the jobs that are menial sometimes. That's why we keep to ourselves and share the row.
It's a shame that the adjunct instructor isn't here right now. She'd find all this fascinating.
Yes, I'm sure she would. Unfortunately, I believe she's indisposed. Tell me, what are your names?
Our names, I am Danton.
Danton.
And this is my wife. My wife is Suzette. And my boy, Fufu. Fufu. Studying to be doctor. He will be Dr. Fufu soon.
Is the emphasis on the first syllable or the second syllable? Or is it even?
I get asked that question 10 times a day. It is on the second.
Oh,
or somewhere in the middle.
Fufu.
Closer, middle to second half.
So Fufu.
It's a Dr. Fufu.
Dr. Fufu.
Yes. Isn't that right? Doctor. He's like, Dad, I'm not a doctor yet. He studies abroad. He does not have our accent.
Can you Well met, I'm sure. Could you tell us, why are all these torches lit in the middle of the day?
If truth be told, it is to keep the shadows at bay. They think that by lighting these torches, whatever evil we are bringing to the town will have no place to hide. It is, if you don't mind me saying so, madness.
Yes, don't the Kayal have energy resistance? Fire?
Some of us do. My son took an alternate racial trait.
Ah, yes.
Gets a +4 to fly checks. I do not understand, but he is going to be doctor, and I am simple Danton.
Tell me, do you share a religion with the Baron? What is it that keeps you together? Is it a simple economic arrangement? Are you simple? Is he your patron? What's the situation?
The Baron, his father before him, I should say, very good man. I grew up under his watch, and it was always assumed that the brothers, one of the brothers, the oldest, would take over, and then he died, and the other brother died, and now this Baron Stepan, has taken over, and he is a different man than his father. It is not as if his father was a perfect man. The relations between the humans and the Kayals was always strained, but it was not like this. Something goes wrong, people start disappearing, a sickness comes about, and the first thing is, it must be the Kayal, must be the fetchlings, as they say. But it is a difficult time. In terms of why we are here, we share the worship of the same deity. We are all Kuthon worshippers.
Did I notice any? Self harm markings on them? Any cuts or anything like that?
They're not as ostentatious as Anya's, for example. Like their sleeves aren't rolled up, so you have no idea what type of scar work. But if you really
grab
look
it
down, you might see lift up their arm. You might see some traceries, maybe some stuff, some scars coming up from under their collar. Doesn't look like they're missing any digits. But they share a worship of Zon Kuthon.
Okay.
Well, forgive me.
You are forgiven.
There is injustice elsewhere that I must address. Be well, and I hope to speak again with you soon. And then the crystal ghost is kind of is like,
No, crystal ghost. No.
She is
Not in the moment of our deepest need.
She throws down a smoke bomb.
yes, she throws out a smoke
Take her
bomb.
out and running away.
I actually do have. I have something. I feel like I put something on my character sheet to deal with, like. And then a minute later, the adjunct instructor emerges.
Oh, hello. Have you met my son, Dr. Fufu?
Not doctor yet.
I'm not a professor yet, but I am an adjunct instructor. But after the publication of my book, I may yet be a professor.
Our book.
Our book.
Our book.
My dissertation. Our book, my dissertation.
Our book.
But-
Her dissertation.
But you'll be a doctor of letters, not a medical doctor. You'll be a PhD, not an MD or an OD, correct? So you'll still be in less esteem than Dr. Fufu here.
Right. You will be, of course, less than.
Yes.
Raven, after the publication of this book, the world will be my oyster. Who knows what the future may yet hold?
Exactly. This book will be such a page turner. The world will be all manner of shellfish. Would limit it to just oysters.
I'm sure it seems as if you all, your discretionary income is less than the Baron's, but to say the least. However, I will, however, send some copies of my book. I'll just leave a few in your library, perhaps. Signed. I'll secretly sign them, and then you open it and you'll say, oh, look, the adjunct instructor was here.
I'm sorry, I have no idea who you are.
Oh, yes, let me introduce myself. My name is adjunct instructor Maxine Vetro.
Oh, are you with them? I do not
Yes.
understand. There was a devil in a mask not too long ago.
The crystal ghost was here?
Yes,
You missed her
yes, I
yet
believe.
again, adjunct instructor.
It is killing me every time. It is killing me. You just missed her again.
I just stepped away to answer a quick letter from an emergency letter from one of my students, and
What?
she is everywhere and nowhere all at once.
What are
Well,
the-
anyway, if you would like a good home-cooked meal and perhaps we cut each other later, sing songs,
Sounds lovely.
you should come join us. We live at 222 Main Street in Chederoe. There are only 4 streets.
Chez Rue?
222 Rushad.
Rushad.
Yes. Come and visit anytime you want. It is the least we can do to repay you. We sing, we cut, we eat.
Thank you very much. It is very generous. We are going to continue investigating this, as we said, with an objective mind, and that may return us to you for some questions and your friends in your part of town. So we'd like to thank you for the invitation.
Yes, anytime, please. It is the least we could do. Were it not for you, we may not be having this conversation. So, adieu and good luck. Come on, Suzette and Dr. Fufu.
Dad!
And can we go check out the? Can we go to the guy's house, the captain of the guard's house? where this disappearance happened?
Yeah. Yeah, it's let me take you back to that other map.
Sweet.
Boom, the map of Carpad.
Gotta go back.
You guys we're gonna go back. You guys are right, Shema, in sort of the center of town here. And his house is over in this area where the town watch is. And by now you know that he is the captain of the guard, and so his house is attached to the guardhouses. So
Like a parsonage.
yeah, kind of like that, like the watch equivalent of a parsonage.
Le Capitaine.
So you head over there. Either you find out beforehand or you ask around, and you approach a fairly unassuming single-story house adjacent to the watch station. And you just see a woman sitting outside. And she's just kind of like lost. Sitting on the front
That is the
steps.
daughter. She's returned.
And now she's
Mystery
found.
solved.
Yes.
She once was lost, but is now found.
Yes. And yet you say that is an adult woman, not a little girl. Perhaps there is some sort of difference in the way time flows, the dimension to which she was absconded.
Yeah,
That is the most likely explanation.
This is our
Clearly.
working theory. Let's return her to her father. Or just talk to her and find out who she is.
Just kinda
Alfonso will
staring.
walk up and
She's gripping her robe with her hands in her lap, and she's just kind of lost stare.
excuse me, madame. Pardon me.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Sorry. I was just thinking. Yeah, are you here to see my husband?
Yes, and to see you as well. My name is Alfonso Moria. My friends and I have come at the behest of the Baron and Baroness
Yes.
to ask some questions around about what happened here.
Yes. No. My husband. He told me you were the. Yes. Please. I'm sorry. Come in, and I apologize for my husband. There is much distress here in Carpad, and it has hit us personally. Our daughter is, well, I'm sure you know, she is gone. And please come in. And she ushers you inside. And as she just kind of walks you straight through the house and takes, like, she's walking you to their backyard. And as she does so, she's just talking. She's like, I was preparing the night's meal, and Lucien was tending to his business in his office next door, and I call for Olya. She's named after me, Olya as well. I say, Olya, time for dinner. I do it every night, and she doesn't answer. I assume she is lost in her play. And I call her again. Olya, nothing. I go out there. I say, Olya, where are you hiding? And she is not there. I scream. When I realize she is gone, Lucien hears me next door. He comes running over. I say, Olya is gone. And we have not seen her since.
Sense motive.
Yep.
I'm gonna catch this lady in a lie.
16.
Natural one.
That is a 25.
5.
She seems very sincere and very distraught about this. Doesn't seem like she's holding anything back.
May I ask you, madame, before we speak with your husband, was there anything different about your daughter that day, or in the days upcoming to the disappearance? Had she acted strangely, or run into anyone, talk about anyone she had met that was new to her, anything of that nature?
No, she did not say anything. We know everyone in town. Carpad may look big. Carpad is not big. Everyone knows each other. But no, she did not say such things. She was just Olya.
What about your husband? Was he been under any unusual stress or anything out of the ordinary in recent weeks? Or has it been business as usual with him as well?
No, he has been under stress. This Carpad is suffering right now. People are dying and getting very sick. Their necks grow very large. The sickness, they do not know how it is spread. They say it is the fetchlings. I do not know. I do not get involved in my husband's business. But on top of that, along with my Olya, other people are disappearing. The baker's wife... these two men, they come into town, lumberers. They come on their way to Pangolin to buy and sell their timber. And 1 minute people saw them, they were staying at the inn, and the next minute they do not pay their bill. Some people think maybe they just skip out. Others think, no, it's another disappearance. There is no pattern to these things, but people are missing and people are sick. So in answer to your question, no, it has not been business as usual. My husband is overwhelmed.
Could you describe these two men for us?
They were large men, strong, muscular. They were lumberjacks. How you say lumberjack? Lumberjack. 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 Yes. Lumberjack.
Lumberjack Cousteau. Does that jibe at all with the image that we saw of the people running earlier? Didn't we see people running from the tower? Like, does...
No, those were people. Those were just citizens running to
the burning.
Got it.
While this conversation is going on, can Chris goes do a little bit of a investigation of the yard?
Yeah.
To see, I'll just take a look see if there's anything out of the ordinary and do a survival check.
We're going to take a look around. You relax for a moment.
Okay, yes. If there's anything I can tell you, anything to help find my Olya.
I do. I'm sorry, my name is Karizor. I do have one question for you.
Yes.
You say that multiple people have gone missing.
Yes.
Where are they going? Who is taking them?
I do not know. That is...
Sense motive.
Are you serious? That is your question. Have you not been listening to me?
I'm sorry. I was sort of in and out. I'm sorry. Yes, let's go check the...
An old interrogation tactic.
A lot of it.
They're gonna be Columbo.
People will
Just
skip
one
the
more
eating.
question. You say these people, they are disappearing. Where did they go?
All right, yeah, let's look around the yard.
Perception, what are you guys doing?
Well, the adjunct instructor will consult with Alfonso to see how we both may use our skills to investigate.
Ooh,
yes.
Little combo perception survive.
Combo perception.
Yeah. I'm sure your perception is... my perception is pretty good too, but I also can't detect magic and...
Perception.
Perception.
Oh, you know that feeling when you thought you poured your whole beer and then you realize you didn't?
Oh. Yeah, that's a good one.
This is great. I only had one for this Sesh. Look at this extra.
Oh my God. That beer's working overtime.
You know what? We're going to go till 10.
There we go.
Oh, good. All right. Let's, I have a good perception.
I can pick up the finer details, but I'm afraid anything related to tracking or anything like that would something it is a blind spot for me.
So he has
you
a very
roll
low
perception.
survival, and then
And you roll the survival.
All right. My survival's not great. So if anyone else wants to roll survival.
Or aid, or, if you want to do
I'll
a little
try to
combo. All right, so Karizor will try to aid in the survival.
Ooh, natty 19 with the aid. Wasted it.
Wasted.
wasted.
Braven, any of those your jam, perception, or
I
survival?
can absolutely aid with a +7 in my perception.
You want to try to add... All right, so you're going to try to aid. So Braven is going to help Alfonso just kind of look around while Karizor and Crystal Ghost kind of get down on their knees and
Adjunct instructor, if you please.
Excuse me. AI MV.
Braven hits 10.
14 on the survival.
Okay, and what about the perception?
With the aid, that is an even 30.
All right. You're looking around, you and Braven, Alfonso. There are no signs of a struggle. Obviously, you don't know what they've done to the lawn since, but there doesn't look to be any sign of a struggle. If you ask her, she's like, we have not touched anything, and unless people are coming here when we sleep to change things, everything is just the way it was when she was taken. No signs of a struggle, but you do notice little flecks of wax in the grass.
Tallow throat.
Little flecks of wax, and then the adjunct instructor Maxine Vetro and Karazor overhear that, and they try to see if there's some sort of like pattern to the wax or a trail, and you just can't discern anything.
We have to get to the chandlery.
Yeah. What do you make of the wax, Alfonso?
I'm not sure. He's going to pick up the pieces of wax, collect any wax that he sees.
It's a lot. It's like, it's like a little bit here, a little bit
but
there.
he'll put it in a vial.
Okay.
He'll like put each piece that he finds in a vial. Can I do a craft alchemy or something like that to get a sense of its makeup or what it may be used for besides just common candle wax?
Yeah.
If it is common candle wax or not. Okay. Craft alchemy. Come on. 18.
Yeah, it just looks like tallow and fat, like something like
common candle
ingredients
wax.
for common candle wax. Yeah.
Okay. And that's all we're gonna find here in terms of
Does
the
anyone
backyard.
have any ability to do any kind of detect magic?
You rolled a 30. You feel pretty confident that if there's anything else there, it's beyond your
Yeah.
comprehension.
Is he here?
My husband.
Yeah.
Yes. No. He preceded you. He is. He is in the bedroom. He said you would probably be coming. He did not seem well, but I could get him for you if you would like.
Does this mean anything to you? And he shakes out a little bit of the candle wax from the vial into his hand. It seems to be common candle wax. Is this anything your daughter may have played with or used before?
No, I mean, she knows Catalina. We all know Catalina. She is the chandler in town. But that is very strange. And I do not know. My husband did not find any wax. It's the only thing I could think of is Catalina. But Catalina would not hurt a fly. She is a very nice woman. She inherited the chandlery from her uncle 5 years ago when he retired.
Her what?
Her uncle. Yes.
Right.
Her uncle. Do you have an uncle?
Is this a word for a boss of some kind or?
No, her uncle.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Is it a
type of
doll
seafood?
thing? As I said, we are outsiders.
Did she have something the matter with her ankle? What are you saying?
No, you have a taunt and an uncle. What do you not understand?
I think you are trying to say enclave. I believe
No.
it is an
Enclave,
enclave.
yes.
Yes, are you speaking of the small town within the town?
no.
Oh, Barnacle.
Barnacle.
No, not the binocular.
See,
Not the binocular.
Not a barnacle.
Binoculars. Binoculars.
No binocular. No binocular. No binocular.
much easier to find if we had binoculars.
Yes. We got to find him, Karazor.
Did she have the binoculars on her when she was taken?
Yes. And how many candles did she have? Did she go through several a day? Was she addicted to candles?
Her uncle was the chandler before her, and she inherited it from him when he retired. It was her father's brother. Her
Uncle. Oh,
Yes.
okay. Got it.
father's brother, the uncle.
I thought you were talking about some sort of shellfish.
The world will be shellfish almost completely by the time our book comes out.
It will be our shellfish.
Ours.
She is a very nice woman. She runs a tiny shop, Catalina. We get our candles from her. Everyone in town gets their candles from her. Not only that, say what you want about the way certain people believe around here. But Catalina, she serves the Kayals, the fetchlings, and the humans all the same. She never turns any customer away. She is a good woman. I do not know.
A true capitalist.
She seems to value money over anything else. It sounds like.
All right, let us not jump to conclusions. Thank you so much for your insight.
One last question.
Into this woman. We will investigate her, and perhaps there was a theft at her shop or something. It could lead us in a positive direction. So you have helped us a great deal. Thank you.
Perhaps it was not Catalina, no. But I thank you. If you could do anything to find my daughter, it would be a great help.
All right. So do you want to? Should we go to the chandlery?
Yep.
I like it because this sounds like some shady shit to me.
This is a
Inherited from the uncle. She's nice to everyone.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't take sides. Get out of here.
Yep.
She just happened to be at the side of a missive, or not a missive, a bit of a tryst between our friend Gabriel and the disappeared Irene. Well,
So we're going to the chandlery.
it's fun to say, by the way. Chandlery.
Isn't that fun?
Chandlery.
Chandlery.
Let the Falcons quarterback Chris Chandler there. But if not, perhaps a clue.
Yeah, hopefully this will turn out better than Chandler Parsons did on the Dallas Mavericks. What a bust.
Total
to
bust.
mention Chandler Bing. All right, so is that the plan right now?
Chandler Bong.
Do you want to
Yeah.
go to the chandlery?
Yes.
Yeah.
To the chandlery.
Where are we now at time of day? I mean, we just got here today, right?
Got here today. You spent a good amount of time at the manor. Imagine those conversations and went on for a while. You got settled in your room. You talked to the Baron. You talked to Anya.
Several
talked to
cucumber
Gabriel.
sandwiches.
Several cucumber sandwiches, and then you came down. This whole thing unfolded at the in the town square. I imagine that this isn't happening in real time. So you got here around 11 a.m. It's probably close to 5 or 6 at this point as you're making your way across town. So right now if you refer to the map of Carpad, you're just to the north of the bridge that separates the area where Shade Row and then up on the hill, the Baron's Manor is from sort of the main part of the town. You're right on the other side there at Lucien Groy's house, and they can direct you to the chandlery, which is right over here at the bend in the river.
Prime real estate. Though a bit of a
there.
flood zone, I would think.
I'm sure they have that taken care of. All right, let's talk flavor.
Flavor me up.
Garlic.
You know what? Let's go to the map.
Oh, a new map.
God. We have to fight the Chandler.
Oh, no.
So we got a new map here. You approach the building, and the chandlery looks like a 20 by 25 foot rectangular building. Single entrance in and windows looking into the storefront. Behind the building is a large hill. And so then you think, oh, that's probably how the water doesn't get in. There's a hill that you can't see the topography on the map behind it that would most likely prevent flooding. That's what that brown area is on the map.
Mm-hmm.
All
What?
right.
Do you do?
Everyone be on their guard. I had
Yeah.
experience with the Chandler one.
Get off of me! The guard.
The guard says.
Skedaddles out of there.
I'll tell you!
It is my guard.
Do not get off me!
No. On our own guards. We'd prefer to be on our own guards. Thank you very much.
My apologies.
I didn't bring one.
All right.
What? Let's do this, Carizor.
Karzor, real quick, is going to run around the side of the chandlery and clamber up the hill to try to get a look at what lies beyond.
Okay. All right, so you go around the chandlery and you climb up the hill. Roll a perception check.
Okay.
Alfonso will flank back, maybe 50 or 60 feet from him, just keeping his distance, but seeing if he sees anything.
10.
10. You see the river, and just the hill stretching another 60 feet or so, goes up and then down towards the river. You don't see
Okay.
anything else of interest?
Karzor runs back and says, "Simple river on the other side of a just as simple hill." And he comes back over to the main group by the front door.
I imagine Karzor walks with his hands in his feet. Is that just in my mind, or does he do that when he's only in a rush?
When he's running.
Yeah, when he's running, he'll gallop on all four limbs, but
Like a werewolf?
when he walks upright like a real boy.
Those bent back feet.
Yeah.
All right.
Alfonso will walk up to the door.
Okay.
Take a look inside.
Door's closed. Look at
He
the
will
windows.
he will knock at the door.
Conk. Nothing.
Hello, is anybody home?
Nothing.
Perception check. Listening for anything subtle that I'm missing. 24.
You don't hear anything. It's eerily quiet.
There's no answer. We'll see if it is locked.
And do we... Oh, go ahead. Well, I just wanted to know, do we feel any smoke or activity inside or lights through the windows or anything like that? Anything that would intimate that someone's inside?
You look inside. You don't see anybody. You don't hear anything. And you don't see any smoke billowing out of the chimney.
Okay.
Well, we can look inside. We can just look through windows inside and see that
inside.
it's a shop and it's empty.
Yeah, the curtains are mostly drawn. If you peek in, you see it's dark inside.
Alfonso will try to open the door.
You open the door.
Oh, yeah.
Hello! Is anyone in there?
See a small little room. Cramped little store space. Right when you open the door, it smells like wax and incense, and you see all over the place candles of every shape, size, color, lining all the available surfaces. There's shelves built into the walls. Just candle from floor to ceiling. There's wax all over the floor as well. Maybe they have them lit for customers to come in, and they melt onto the floor. But it looks nice. It doesn't look sloppy. There's also crates with candles, long candles poking out of them and perching precariously on overstuffed shelves. It's a little messy, but you imagine it would look 10 times eerier if all the candles were lit. But it's quiet. You see a door leading further into the shop. But this looks like it's the main part of the shop. If a customer walked in, this is what they would see.
I will just peel my eyes a little bit more right from the doorway and just do a quick perception. See if there's any details that seem something is amiss. Anything broken, anything fallen. Any signs of a struggle? 28.
28. Do you have dark vision?
No.
Okay.
I do.
What? I'm sorry. What time is it? It's the evening now?
It's approaching evening. It's about 5:30 at this point.
But with all those candles out, it's obviously pitch dark.
Right, with the windows and it being, daytime. Must be.
It's 6 o'clock.
Oh, so it's like wintertime, sun's down.
We're far away from the equator.
It's March. Damn this March weather.
I have dark vision. I can look in as well.
I roll a perception.
I think you misunderstand what dark vision is for.
18.
18.
There's a patch in the back of the room of wax that just seems very strange. Seems like a large swatch, like not swatch, but a large like pile of wax. You would have had to melt down a lot of candles to do it. It's just odd.
Alfonso, do you see that large swatch of wax?
All right.
No, this shop, it is as if it is in the Darklands. It is as if it is 1,000 feet beneath the surface of the earth. It is so pitch black. I cannot see my hand in front of my face. I put it through the doorway, and my hand disappears.
Do you have low light
Put it
vision?
back outside into the sunlight, and I can see it.
Do you have low light vision?
Do this during a total eclipse.
You have low light vision.
I do have low light vision. Yes.
Well, then you would have seen that as well. I thought you had no vision whatsoever.
Vision.
Yeah, no vision. Yeah. It's dark. It's dark in there. Imagine you open up a closed store. There's just a couple of windows, and night is coming. You look in there, you can't really see. But the Crystal Ghost or Professor, the adjunct instructor, you got too many names. Looks in, sees like just an odd pile of wax.
Calls my attention to it. Okay, can I try to? All right, I will. I'm going to do one step in, just to see if there's anything to the left.
Nothing to the left except that door.
And but what's there? Is it just a wall?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I will. Can I do a knowledge check to see if this quote unquote pile of wax might not be a pile of wax? It might be something that is like a knowledge arcana or knowledge dungeoneering or knowledge arcana or something like that. Does it exhibit any traits of something that could be a creature?
Yeah.
Any particular knowledge, or just pick one and knowledge dungeoneering?
No, do knowledge arcana.
Knowledge arcana. That is a 20.
20. Yeah, something's not quite right about it. It doesn't seem normal. And then as you get closer to it, you see that it looks like a mannequin, like some sort of grotesque wax mannequin. It's got these odd features, like it's not completely finished. It's got arms and legs.
Oh,
and you walked in, and it just turns.
come on!
Oh, no. Slowly turns, and you see what looks like a man, but its face is like completely melted on one side, and one side looks absolutely beautiful. He's just like, he opens his mouth up, and wax is just like running from his lip to his lip. And roll for initiative.
Oh my God! It's Clayface from Batman.
Oh, what a scary image! You have to have artwork of this. Do you have artwork of this queued up?
I have something.
I've got something. Oh, buddy, that's crazy.
There you go.
Natural 3 on my initiative.
Natural
3.
1 on my initiative, of course. Right in the front here. Damn. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Oh dear. Okay. What did everybody get? Let's start with adjunct instructor Maxine Vetro.
7.
Oh dear. Braven?
Just like Dr. Fufu, I am also better than the adjunct professor. I got an 8.
Oh, Dr. Fufu! Dad! Karzor?
6.
Oh my God. We got a family pot here, Alfonso.
4.
Oh
Man. Wow.
This is the worst. I mean, nothing under over 10. And spoiler alert, I rolled under 10 as well. So this is the worst mission I've ever seen. All right,
party.
so it's going to be Braven first. So Braven, Alfonso steps into the room, and you just hear. What does Alfonso say when he sees this thing? Is there a reaction?
There is danger. Arm yourselves. This wax is coming alive.
And then he goes like this to grab his weapon as slow as humanly possible.
Braven, what do you want to do?
Braven is going to use this opportunity to, take advantage of the fact he still doesn't have precise shot. Even after spending the money, not admitting what you wanted him to admit, Troy, he still just has point blank shot. And he's going to rush in past Alfonso and take a shot at this thing. We'll take a perception check first to see if it's hostile. That might be too hasty.
And you have dark vision or low light vision?
Dark vision.
It's only
Dark
Alfonso,
vision.
yeah. Oh, yeah, so no problem. You can see him easily. Roll perception.
Okay. 22.
Yeah, he looks like he's ready to guard this place.
Okay, immediate action, throws up his own water shield to guard himself. He's got his own guard, finally. And he is going to point blank shot, throw out an elemental blast at this thing.
All right, he's flat-footed. Got a good chance here.
18 on the die.
There you go, dude. Good opener. Strong opener.
So that's a total of a 24 if it matters.
No, that's a hit.
Okay, here it comes. 18 points of damage.
Ooh, wow. God.
And it is bludgeoning and considered magical if that matters at all.
Oh, actually it does.
Whoa.
That's magical damage?
It's considered magical for the purposes of damage reduction.
That's interesting.
It is a SP, parentheses
Is that
SP.
the only thing it's considered magic for, or is it magic? Or it's only magic in
Hold on,
terms of bypassing DR?
Magic.
Interesting distinction.
Kinetic blasts are magic for the purpose of magic reduction. Blasts always deal full damage to swarms of any size. Physical bludgeoning attacks. It just says that's copied. I have a little document. I've copied like the core rules for kineticist, and that's what it says. It doesn't
so it's magic. You just did a magic attack on him.
I would think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Spell-like ability.
Hits. It's spell like, but okay, great. It hits it. It does absolutely no damage to it. You see it just wash over it.
What a bummer.
Oh, man.
At least you learned something from that. It is Adjunct Instructor Maxine Vetra's turn.
Okay, the adjunct instructor will draw her longsword as part of a move action to move into the room, and she will go there.
Where's there?
She's going to leave a lane open for Alfonso if he wants to come in.
So you get right up next to the creature.
Right up next to it, and I'll take a swing with the longsword.
Shoot.
Natural 5.
Oh, no.
That is a 13 to hit.
Zoom, just misses through, or let's say it like hits the wax and the wax just reforms and you do no damage. You don't hit it. All right, moving right along. It is Karazor's turn.
Oh my god, and 3 of you still were ahead of it. That's wild.
Actually, it's lucky that I go before you, Alfonso, because I have only one spot that I can get to and still hit it. So Karazor comes smashing through the door past Alfonso and right up into its face, drawing his greatsword while he does, and coming down on it with an overhand chop. Natural 7.
Oh, dear.
So that is a 14 to hit.
14 misses, even though it's still flat-footed. And now it's its turn.
Oh, no.
Got a couple Tarjets here. Adjunct Instructor or Karazor?
Yes.
Adjunct Instructor, Maxine Vetro. It comes down to try and slam you. Big, waxy mouth.
We really needed the Crystal Ghost.
Correct. Natural 1.
Oh, all right. Oh, that is wonderful news.
That is $50 to direct relief.
Yeah, wonderful news on many levels.
We haven't had one of those in a few weeks. Big old Fumboni.
So it went to slap, right? So it was like it's a melee fumble.
It was more of a slam. How dare you, sir?
More of a slam. Okay. This one from Brian in Atlanta. Critical counter. Your swing goes wild, exposing a weak spot in your armor and leaving you open to a deadly counterattack. If the next attack roll against you is a critical threat, it automatically confirms. Else, the next attack roll against you... Else, if the next attack roll against you is a hit, it has a 50% chance of becoming a critical threat. If unused, this effect expires at the beginning of your next turn. This condition is not affected by attacks that involve AoE or saving throws. All right, so the next person...
The next attack.
Yeah, the next attack against this thing, if it's a hit, has a 50% chance to become a critical threat, it automatically confirms.
Wow, okay.
And the next person is...
Alfonso.
All right.
Yeah, it missed, so it is Alfonso's turn, and you guys have boxed it in, so it can't really go anywhere.
Wow, holy shit. All right. So you had me do a knowledge roll that seemed to be meaningless. It was really just to look at it, go like, it's wax thing. So is that an actual knowledge check?
What did you roll? I'll have it carry over now that you know what it is. It is knowledge.
It was a 20 knowledge arcana. So could I know like if it's damaged only by non-magical weapons or?
All right. So it is, you rolled 20. So it's immune to magic.
Okay.
It's a golem. It's a fucking wax golem.
It's a golem.
It is a wax golem. It's immune to magic, so it's immune to any spell or spell-like ability that allows spell resistance. So I should have checked with you, Grant, to make sure that you
Grant's attack goes through, I think, on that. Yeah.
You think so? It doesn't allow it.
It's not a spell.
A spell-like ability, as long as it allows spell resistance. It could be a spell-like ability. So check that.
SR? I'm looking up SR on this to see if it allows it. I don't believe it does.
This is a funky middle ground. It's. I think that it's magic for the purposes of bypassing DR. It's not a magical attack.
It's a spell-like ability. It counts as long.
Spell resistance doesn't apply against physical blasts, which is what this is.
Oh, if it doesn't have SR, then it goes through. But spells and spell-like abilities.
So SR applies to energy blasts, and that's part of the balancing because energy blasts go against touch AC. So they take that away from the physical blast because I'm having to hit against regular AC, I believe.
And I will take that 18 damage.
Then why is your attack magic for the purposes of bypassing DR? Is that like an extra ability you have?
No,
that's
just how all kinetic blasts are taken.
That's cool.
Okay.
To my understanding, I could be, and I have been wrong before. But
as long as it doesn't have SR, then that damage does go through. I can also tell you with the 20 that doesn't apply to spells with the fire descriptor.
Oh, that makes sense.
How about a little fire, Scarecrow?
Yeah, baby.
Fire will help greatly. It will take it out. It is a wax column. And Alfonso he's not going to take this attack because he's just not going to get into that position. Everybody else has a better chance. So he's going to actually take it because I didn't have my blade out. I was walking into a person's store. So he's going to draw his blade and then he's going to take a standard action to change shape and become a werebatkin, which will boost his dex.
Okay. Great. So now it goes to the top of the next round, and it is Braven's turn. Braven, you did, in fact, do damage to it with your kinetic blast, and pieces and bits of wax are all flying across the back wall. But you're the only one that struck true.
Yep. Braven is going to slide past the adjunct instructor, who I don't believe we've seen in battle yet. So this is impressive. We have? Okay. I don't remember. I'm so taken back by the Crystal Ghost's prowess.
It's applesauce.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she would have laid a really
By the
good
way,
hit.
I made a great decision murdering that thing in retrospect. So whoever gave me crap about killing applesauce, go to hell.
Yeah.
You can go to hell and you can have lunch with applesauce. That's what can happen. Braven is going to do the same thing up close. Going to take a -4 to this. Going to turn off point blank shot. Okay. So my total, well, actually, we'll leave on point blank shot because I get a bonus on attack and damage. So it's a +2 to this roll for a 10.
Misses, and that's a big miss where Braven was the only one to hit. But now you're armed with a little.
Would a 14 have hit? Just curious.
I cannot give you that information.
Can't
but
tell you.
How about
that.
a 15?
Stop it.
16?
14 would not hit. 14 would not hit.
Okay, good.
It is the adjunct instructor's turn?
It sure is.
Okay, I'm going to take another swing. I'm going to turn power attack on. 2-hand on the long sword.
Come on. Adjunct instructor.
16 to hit. Oh wait, am I flanking? No, 16.
16 to hit? You're not happy with a 16?
I was a natural 10.
Yes, I think it is a miss, actually.
No, that's a hit.
Nice. I thought you said a 14 missed, even flat-footed. The first round.
Don't worry about it.
Maybe it doesn't have any. It has no dex bonus to its AC. That is.
Try to game the system.
That is 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. All right,
Minimum damage.
Oh no!
damage. Oh, you guys have pretty good damage at
We do.
4th level. I mean, I guess that's pretty standard damage, but you should be very proud of your damage at 4th level. All right, good move for Maxine. Do you want to move at all? Or you like?
You know what? Yeah, I'll take a 5-foot step so Alfonso can get in there if he wants, and then.
Wait, we forgot
We did not forget anything.
the crit, the fumble.
Oh,
Yes, Braven blew it. He missed.
He missed. Okay, that's right. Okay, thank you. All right, so it is now Karazor's turn.
All right, Karazor is going to ready himself again with his sword. It's like, you giant dumb candle! That's a 20 to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, wow.
Baby.
Max damage. That is 28 points of damage.
You obliterate it. It's
Yeah, Karazor!
Yeah, sure.
explosion of wax. You're all like just covered in wax. And you all start suffocating.
Amazing. Nice, dude.
Wow. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool monster. I mean, this particular party was very well equipped for it. The immune to magic would make it difficult for like a half and half party, but this is like a physical damage party. It's cool though. If you hit it with fire, it slows it down. It like as per the slow spell.
no.
It also takes half again damage where it's vulnerable. But then its attacks start dealing like fire damage on top of the slam damage because it's hitting you with like melting wax. That's cool. I've never seen like a monster do a
cool.
little bit about this. I
That's
probably
really
haven't,
cool.
just forgot. But,
Little does the candle golem know that's my bedroom kink, dripping hot wax all over my back.
oh God! Oh, why do I like this?
Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me!
Good round there. A good couple of rounds, and you see it just kind of melt, and it's handsome. The handsome part of its face starts to look ugly as well. It's smashed to bits all over the floor.
Alfonso, because he can't stop, his mind's always like going a million miles an hour. He's gonna sheathe the sword and immediately like pull out the vial and shake some flecks into his hand and like see if there's any comparison between the wax from the yard and the wax on this thing, if there's any coloration similarity or consistency similarity or anything like that.
To this thing, roll perception.
You roll a perception, Levette. Oh my god. Of all the ones to not blow. Natural 1 and a 2. Oh god. That is a 14.
Maybe. There's a lot of candles in this room. There's no reason to think that like those specs don't match up to one of these, but I mean, it would take you hours to like hold them up to each candle. You feel pretty confident that it's candle wax, but you don't know if this golem was the culprit.
Okay.
Can we listen at this door over here?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Just gonna get a bit more wax. Hold on.
10 on the perception.
10 on the perception. Listen in. Nothing.
Kick it in.
You see a small like bedroom / like living area. So perhaps Catalina lived here as well. It's very modest.
Lived, you said.
Lived here.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa. DM slip. I love it when we catch him in a mistake.
I think you're reading too much into that.
Hey, Troy, does a 14 hit? Did she live here? Is she dead?
It was, by the way, AC 15, flat-footed 15.
You see a chandler's working clothes lying scattered about the room. There's a mattress along the wall and a stack of ledgers block access to the wardrobe.
Ledgers, eh?
Ledgers. Heath Ledgers.
It's an Australian candle shop.
Let's take a look through the ledgers.
All right, let me open this bad boy up with some fog of woe.
Fog of woe.
Wow.
You start looking through the ledgers and you see the top one is like an instruction manual for how to create a wax golem assistant. And there's little notes in the margins that are like apprentice ? Should I make him handsome ?
Oh, so it could be totally innocent.
Could have been. Has
Choose
been.
one.
Everything about this screams innocence. If you just leave now, cease to implicate anyone any further.
Can I do a further perception on the room to see if there's anything hidden somewhere, perhaps?
Yeah.
Bones of disappeared people, maybe? Natural 2.
Oh
For
my
an
god.
For an 11.
Yeah, nothing's really jumping out at you. It's a
I'm
pretty
gonna
simple
search
room.
as well.
I'm going to do the same thing. Just do a perception all over the room.
But how can you do that without dark vision?
We light a candle.
I'm going to also search. 25.
25. Jojo?
17.
Casey and Jojo? All right, so Braven, you're looking around, and two things sort of jump out at you. One, under the bed, you find a lockbox.
Lockbox.
Love a good
Alcor's
lockbox.
Two, behind the ledgers and under the wardrobe, you see a trapdoor.
Oh, hell
Wow.
yeah.
We are getting into some serious B&E right now.
And
Bra-
cause, though, and
Good find.
Braven is going to point the rest of the party towards the trapdoor as he pockets the lockbox for his own purposes later.
It's a lockbox, Grant. It's rather large.
How big is this lockbox? How big is this lockbox? Who says a
Braven turns around,
lockbox has to be big?
Gigantic rectangle protruding from his shirt.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Pocketing
Pocketing a lockbox? It's supposed to be hard to steal.
Dude, Braven is wearing like cargo pants from Abercrombie circa 1998. Okay,
It would still be very obvious. That's the point of a lockbox.
Listen. Let's not get into semantics here, Matthew.
Grant, a hobgoblin is not as large as you are necessarily.
Well,
The pockets are their pockets are appropriately sized.
all right. I'll show it to everyone. I don't even know how to open this dumb
Grant,
thing.
you could have easily said I hide the lockbox, I steal the lockbox, I cover it up, and find him, come back later. You had to use the verb pocket. It's just a bad verb choice. That's all.
Pocket? I didn't speak clearly. I said pocket dimension the lockbox.
Oh, that's what.
Wow, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Right. I pocket
Unfortunately, you're
dimension the shit out of that lockbox.
Cover it
Well,
with
then,
wax.
Braven, what are you casting over there?
Whatever do you mean, adjunct instructor Vetro?
What's
Seems
one of
like
those
you cast
somatic components?
It seems like you're casting suspicion my way.
That's my job. I apply scrutiny to all subjects.
Well, why don't you make like
What's
a
the-
tree and get the hell out of here?
ooh, good comeback.
Got me.
I think we should just
Got
give
me.
up. Scene.
What's in the lockbox?
I don't know.
It's locked.
Get someone help.
It's a locked
I
box.
will. Oh man, I will try to pick the lock.
Okay. Roll. disable.
I also have disabled device.
I will just take 20 to disable it. We'll just work on it until it's done.
All
So
right,
that would
you just-
that would be a 34.
All right, so you spend some time there,
Yeah.
just kind of massaging it while
Yeah, he's like, let me know if you see anyone coming. And he just
pulling
he's
the wardrobe away to reveal the trapdoor, no doubt. You finally get it open, and you see money in there. Maybe it's the earnings for the shop. Maybe it's like, maybe it's the I don't know. You haven't seen any other money. You haven't seen any other cash register around. So most likely it's the earnings or someone's savings.
It's the till. Yeah.
Yeah, 65 gold pieces, 29 silver, 88 copper.
We're having steak tonight.
And you also see a very simple white candle in the box as well.
Get out. Fucking vial. Shake out the flakes. This is the exact same as the candle. Well, that's a 27 perception. But shit, we don't have detect magic in this party. It's preposterous. It's probably it's probably a candle of ghosts, John. Could I with
It's a candle of ghosts, John.
you know what I'm talking about? The one that leads calls spirits or keeps away spirits. We had one in Giant Slayer.
We have one in Strange Aeons.
Oh, the delivery on that, Troy,
right.
was so good. It's a candle, John.
It's a candle of ghosts, John.
Candle of ghosts, John.
If you don't have detect magic, can you still determine what it could be if it was magic?
I would argue that I could.
Well, you can spellcraft.
I have spellcraft and I have knowledge arcana. I could look at it and say it looks like this sort of thing. I might
roll a.
I also have a high UMD, so I'm trained in these things despite not being naturally magical.
All right, shut up and roll the spellcraft.
Come on, O'Brien. There we go. 26 spellcraft.
All right, it is a. You're like, I've seen these fucking things.
Yeah,
this is a candle of ghost, John.
Yeah, there you go. I knew it.
No, it's a.
Is it Ghost John Lesser?
It's a
Ghost John Lesser.
It's a candle. It's called a candle of truth. It is a white tallow candle that, when burned,
it works like Zone of Truth.
A zone of truth.
Oh, awesome!
5-foot radius centered on the candle, lasts for an hour until the candle burns out completely. If the candle is snuffed out before the hour ends, it's ruined and the zone of truth is over. Can't be recalled. It's pretty cool. It's good for an interrogation.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. Works on my way. Go.
Perhaps we should leave the money and take the candle.
Perhaps I thought about that, and then I thought, would it not be easier to just take it all? Hear me out. You take the candle and not the money, and they know someone has been in here rooting around and skillfully taking this one thing just so specific to an investigation. We take all the money, destroy the lockbox, and we say, there was never a lockbox here. Someone must have taken it before we came. We never saw a lockbox.
There was no covering up our tracks. We destroyed her golem boyfriend, and
whoever the thief was that came in here destroyed the golem. Filthy thief.
I believe this Chandler should be innocent until proven guilty.
Oh, it's a
The golem could just be protecting against intruders, which we were.
No, we had probable cause to break and enter. So we were well within our rights. And if your concerns are moral about the money, I say we could use the money in future to pay for some justice.
What kind of justice do you recommend paying for?
Well, whatever we need. That's the beautiful thing about money, Maxine. You can use it to buy all sorts of things. Beans, fruit, love.
Respect.
Beans, fruit, and love.
Those are the only three things you can use
65 gold pieces worth of respect.
Yes.
Copper for beans.
It's at least enough for a down payment on some respect.
Well, perhaps we can just hold on to the money in trusts until we discover that there's nothing untoward happening here.
Yes, that is very good. All right, I'll meet you there, middle ground. Now let's check out this trapdoor immediately.
All right.
Trapdoor.
Alfonso will examine the trapdoor, perception check for traps. That's
okay.
That's the first thing I want to do. That is a 28.
It doesn't appear to be trapped.
Is it locked? I'll try to open it, just see if it's locked.
Doesn't appear to be locked.
I will slowly and stealthily open it. I'll roll a stealth check. The 16.
It's locked, and then the trap blows up in your face.
Oh, God!
You just missed it. 16 on the stealth, you said?
16 on the stealth. Tries to open it quietly.
It opens up. And you see a ladder. Or no, not even a ladder. It's a staircase going down below ground.
Oh.
I could direct your attention to just south of Mya in the hill.
Oh, man.
Mr. Underhill,
If you excuse me, I seem to be receiving an urgent letter from
From a
one of my
student?
students.
How do these letters come?
No. It's
a motive.
if she gets a bad review from one student, she loses her position as an adjunct instructor.
On ratemyprofessor.com, I have yet to earn the chili pepper nor a 4-star rating. Excuse me, I'll just go on without me. But wait 1 minute.
oh, you heard the postman, did you?
I heard
Well-
I heard the postman call.
Oh, yes.
In the other room. Don't come into the other room.
No, we would dream of it.
Just stay here.
All right.
And the adjunct instructor slips into the other room.
Karazor,
And-
is heard the postman a euphemism for something?
No, I'm wondering. I mean, she has to know that the mail is here somehow. Unless she has some ridiculous supernatural sense of when the mail is coming. Must have been auditory.
Alfonso's eyes squint down. He thinks for a moment. This fucking 19 intelligence. He's like, wait a minute. He looks across at Karazor and he's like, did you hear the postman?
I did not.
I did not either.
But then
Her
again,
hearing must be incredible.
yes. Then again, I don't know what a postman sounds like.
She's lying to us about her hearing. It is far, far better than she lets on.
Yes, it is sharper, far more attuned than ours could ever dream to be. Perhaps it's something we could utilize in the future.
Have you ever noticed?
talking about?
Oh, welcome back. Alfonso does a perception check to see if the crystal ghost casts a shadow.
Oh, welcome. Oh, hello.
What are you doing here? How did you know we were here?
I know a great many things, Alfonso. The
Well, I hope-
Ghost keeps an eye out for injustice everywhere.
Well, I hope you realize you've become a part of a crime. We are breaking and entering as we speak. And you are now a part of the crime.
Oh,
You are an accomplice.
an accessory at best.
Accessory at best, yes.
Did you see the postman while you were outside?
Oh, yes. I saw him heading off. It seems he just delivered a letter to someone.
Was he wearing cowbells or some other
Yes, was he
warning device?
was he noisy or quiet? How would you describe his general sound?
I would say he was rather stealthy, and a decent perception check would be able to hear him if you were paying attention. If you might be expecting a letter, you might be keeping an ear out.
The wax golem stands up and like reforms himself. He's like, well, sorry that things had to go down this way, but I'll be on my way. Just one more thing. You said you heard a postman, but why the post hasn't been allowed in Carpad for over 2 weeks since the disease hit town. People started disappearing. So,
Do you want to try that story again, Crystal Ghost?
He might have not been a postman. He might have been a civil servant of some kind.
A runner for the mayor, internal.
I've only begun my investigation of this town. I don't know what the patches on their sleeves mean.
The other part that's suspicious is that you said it didn't sound like bells, but the postman always rings twice. All right, I
But
killed
it wasn't a postman.
Oh,
That's what that would account for the lack
oh,
of
the
bells.
golem. Sorry.
All right. Wow. All right.
Now that the
got me.
ghost is back,
I've been following you this whole time. I thought when I saw you break and enter that you might need a little backup. I'm sorry for caring.
Sense motive.
All right, Alfonso is going to slowly descend the steps.
as you slowly descend the steps, the winners of tonight's contest are announced.
Oh! Bling, 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 bling. Scares the shit out of Alfonso. He trips, falls down the stairs.
What's an
If
air
you're
horn
following us
doing
on
here?
Instagram all night, we just tabulated the winners about 3 minutes ago to give away a Lork's Gonna Lork shirt, a new Nestor coin shirt, and the glass cannon hat that Joe is wearing. The Lork shirt goes to our good buddy Jen with 2 N's. Get out of here!
What? The luck.
Get the hell out of here.
Nestor coin goes to iCrell, ICRELL, handle iCrell.
And the hat goes to Ajolumi, AJOLOUMI. We'll be hitting you up on the IG, slipping into your DMs to get your sizes and your address. But thanks for playing, everybody. It's a
Yeah,
big win.
thanks everybody. Congrats, Jen, with 2 ends.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? There was almost 300 people in. And, I just rolled dice for it.
Jen, congrats on signing Cam Newton, by the way.
So she had a lot to do with the signing. Let's talk to me about walking down these stairs. I will tell you right now, it's underground. It's dark. O'Brien.
All right. I'll buy this.
Out. Should be light going down the stairs from the window upstairs.
I agree with you here.
Let me go first, Alfonso.
Yes, Corazon, after you.
I shall follow Carizor.
I should have followed. All right, you come down the stairs. You see a door to your right and a room that's about 25 feet wide, 20 feet long. This looks like some sort of packing room. It's piled high with crates and boxes, also filled like upstairs with candles and packing material. Maybe she ships candles outside of Carpad all over Nidal. Some semblance of order to this place, but it's long gone as spools of twine, pots of dye, and other elements of candle manufacture have just been dumped here haphazardly.
So with all that stuff here, it would appear, just by deductive reasoning, that you spent all of your prop budget on the opening scene. You didn't want to put any of that effort into decorating this area or the shop.
Yeah,
you just wanted to leave it a blank gray slate. Just
there's one. It's a good point. I'm going to give you that, Grant, because I didn't put boxes there, so I should put some boxes.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But I should probably start with the most important part of the room that I didn't mention, which is the dead woman on the floor.
See, we weren't reading too much into shit. Alfonso can't see anything. You're saying, right? He can't see anything down here.
Can't see anything. You just tripped over. Oh God.
Yeah. So he's gonna light a torch then. If he can't see it, watch your eyes.
You light a torch and you see, splayed out in the ground in a pool of blood, is a woman with a enormous gash across her throat that opens outward, and blood just clearly pooled out of the gash on her neck. And she's just laying there.
Whoa.
Oh boy.
They do a heal check to see how long she's been down here?
Yeah.
This?
Yeah.
5? Is that enough?
Can't tell.
I got it too.
She looks like she might. Carzo, you think when you walked in, she might have been alive, but you took too long upstairs, taking 20 on the lockbox. And she clearly perished in that time.
It was greed that killed the Chandler.
15 on the heal check if that matters.
All right, so maybe a week old.
What?
Whoa. And no one's noticed her missing?
The cause of death has something to do with the neck, but it doesn't look like she was cut. She actually has a similar appearance to the captain of the guard. White skin, kind of very pale. Now that you think of it, the captain of the guard looked a little sick as well, and his neck looked a little swollen. She has that kind of look as well. And as you're standing there, all looking over her and trying to figure this out, the torchlight flickers about the room, and you see the shadows in the room start to flit about. And all of a sudden, they just reach watch out for you.
Not shadows.
And we'll see you next week.
Oh, they're the worst. They're the fucking worst.
We're
dude.
talking possible character death next week.
they are
Live!
Oh God.
I mean, as equipped as you were for the Wax Golem fight, you are as unequipped for this one. It's going down next week live!
Oh no.
It's terrible. Terrible news.
I'll see you next week!